There are patterns in politics that move deeper than ideology, deeper even than policy. They belong to the realm of Dharma, the causes beneath causes, where intention and awareness set the trajectory of consequence. Among the most dangerous of these patterns is the triad of obsequiousness, ignorance, and wrong action. Three forces that arise together, reinforce one another, and hasten the unraveling of balance when they are left unchecked. Obsequiousness begins as a surrender of discernment. It is the instinct to please power, to align one's posture to the desires of the strong rather than the needs of the whole. In politics, this often arrives cloaked as loyalty or strategic compromise. But beneath the language lies something more corrosive, the abandonment of independent seeing. When advisors, legislators, and institutions bend their judgments to match the whims of leadership, the collective capacity to perceive reality diminishes. Power unchallenged becomes power unexamined, and when it is unexamined, it veers toward excess almost by nature. The wheel begins to spin off its axis. Ignorance is what follows. Not as absence of information, but as a willful refusal to integrate what is known. Data accumulates, warnings multiply, institutions raise alarms, and yet the signals are managed, reframed, softened into palatable narratives. This is the ignorance of a body that senses its illness but convinces itself it is healthy, mistaking silence for strength. When entire systems are oriented around the avoidance of discomfort, when dissent is dismissed, oversight dismantled, and inconvenient truths turned into distractions, the karmic burden deepens. Ignorance is not passive here, it is curated. It becomes culture. From this union of obsequiousness and ignorance, wrong action arises naturally. It is, action taken without clarity, policy formed without awareness of consequence, and momentum that's, mistaken for wisdom. The choices may appear bold, decisive, even visionary, yet they're animated by imbalance, and so they generate more of it. Trade wars ignite without understanding interdependence. Institutions are hollowed without seeing their function, and narratives are managed without regard for truth. In dharmic terms, wrong action is not merely error. It is action taken in separation from the whole, denying the web of causes and effects it inevitably disturbs. Once the triad takes root, it forms a feedback loop. Obsequiousness blinds institutions, ignorance multiplies in their silence, and wrong action accelerates harm that no one will honestly name. In such a system, appearance replaces substance, control masquerades as care, and the language of balance is invoked even as balance dissolves. Yet from the outside, the machinery still runs. Markets rise, policies pass, offices function. This is the danger, the illusion of vitality masking the slow corrosion within. Karma gathers beneath the surface, invisible until it breaches all at once. The lesson is not abstract. A healthy society requires the opposite triad: courage, awareness, and right action. Courage to speak truth to power without bending. Awareness to integrate what is known even when it is painful. Right action aligned not with appearances or allegiances, but with interdependence itself. Politics, divorced from these virtues, becomes a theater where collapse is rehearsed in slow motion, while the audience is, invited to applaud the staging. In our time, the challenge is not only to critique policy, but to recognize these deeper patterns shaping it. A nation that rewards obsequiousness, indulges ignorance, and celebrates wrong action will drift from coherence long before its structures fail. And when the wheel finally spins free of its center, it will not be ideology that determines its fall, but the quiet choices unmade, the refusals to listen, to integrate, to act with humility before the weight of consequence.